This has been a tough season for farmers in southern Brazil. They are facing the worst drought in decades, and the devaluation of the currency along with the conflict in Ukraine are leading to an increase in the cost of fertilizers. This farmer says he's having a good soy harvest, but acknowledges tight profit margins and concern about what happens next.
Fertilizer is the main component of our production costs. From the latest season to this one, now prices have practically doubled. We hope that this issue with Russia will be resolved as soon as possible, so shipments can go back to normal.
Brazil imports 85% of the fertilizers it uses. Russia is the main seller. Here, at the Prudentópolis farming cooperative, stocks are lower than usual, and some farmers have started to reduce the quantities they use.
If the fertilizer is too expensive, all the farmer can do is use less product or even plant without it. This does not impact quality, but certainly reduces productivity.
For all the crops that have already been planted this season, sugarcane and coffee for example, there won't be shortage of fertilizers. Prices will be high, but there will be product. The risk of shortages is for the next season's crops that begin to be planted around September.
Brazil is an agriculture powerhouse, but it's heavily dependent on imported fertilizers. The government of President Jair Bolsonaro has plans to increase domestic production, but they are highly controversial as they involve mining of protected indigenous lands. Artists, environmentalists and indigenous groups protested on Wednesday in Brasilia against a bill to allow mining of products like potassium, a key fertilizer ingredient in indigenous areas. Joênia Wapichana is the only indigenous member of Brazil's Chamber of Deputies.
Bolsonaro always dreamed of allowing mining in indigenous lands, so he found in this argument of a possible shortage of fertilizers a way to get society to think it's acceptable to allow mining in indigenous areas.
The rise in farming costs is projected to contribute to Brazil's already high inflation. Despite being thousands of kilometers away from Ukraine, Brazilians are set to feel the impact of the conflict when they buy their food. Paulo Cabral, CGTN, Prudentópolis, Brazil.